really with my attitude. So I was just thinking, because it's not about just the body shape, it's about how you have
Whole
felt
being.
at that stage. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that took me a lot of time to remember,
Okay.
which was my best, that I had cherished most.
Hmm.
So because we never give ourselves it, that is when I realized we give our relationship so much thought, but never a relationship with our own bodies.
Body. Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
That's so true. Lovely. Happy morning, Anita, Nina. So, anyone else would like to share what happened yesterday? Something we.
Happy morning. Happy good morning.
Yeah, happy good morning. Sorry, who's this?
And Nirmala here.
Yeah, hi, good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning. Would you like to share something?
Yeah, yesterday was a very busy day,
Okay.
and when my program has to just start,
Hmm.
my computer hanged, and I was very nervous. Then I
Huh,
started thanking computer, and
nice.
I went to my neighbor's house,
Okay. Huh.
and I never go to their house for any help. But
Okay.
and I just told her ki I need help.
Huh. Huh.
I'm in a very bad state. I really need my some help. And
Huh.
I started gratitude her,
Huh. Huh.
and she really helped me. She
Huh.
called me in,
Huh.
and she gave her laptop,
Huh.
and my program was very successful.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank
Congratulations.
you.
Yeah.
So I just
अपने
started
बुक के
saying
बारे
thank
में
you, thank
कुछ
you, thank
बताइए.
you. Hmm?
आप अपने बुक के बारे में कुछ बताइए.
हाँ, बुक के बारे में
हाँ.
मार्च फर्स्ट वीक में आया, नहीं सेकेंड वीक में आया, और तुरंत ही लॉकडाउन हो गया.
ओहो.
इट
हाँ.
वाज लाइंग लाइक दैट, एंड
ओके.
बीच बीच में आई started feeling bad कि oh my god book आया and I can't send anyone and no one is
हाँ.
talking about it. Otherwise usually it starts in the magazines and everything कि this book
हाँ.
is new book is coming and all
हाँ.
that. But yesterday the program was very successful.
अच्छा.
All the four speakers,
हाँ.
five speakers, they all talked about very positive, like for the book, and they,
हाँ. तो
yeah,
निर्मला आंटी, आप सबको पहले बताइए आपकी बुक किस बारे में है.
हाँ,
हाँ.
मेरी बुक की टाइटल है रिश्तों के शहर.
हाँ.
All about relationship.
अगली.
uh, in 165 pages, there are 8 stories,
ओके.
and all are for the woman.
हाँ.
All the characters are like, yeah, everyone said the things are presented very coolly.
हाँ.
There is no loud voice at all.
ओके.
uh, uh, Jabki the topic is very strong, and
हाँ.
all women fight for her space,
हाँ.
and not yeah, so they separated sometimes from the house, but
हाँ.
they always maintained the relationship.
ओके.
With
ओके.
that, they make their path and like that. It is in Hindi,
ओके.
and yeah.
Nice, very nice. So Nirmala auntie here is, we all know Garima Agarwal. I'm sure a lot of us know Garima Agarwal from Peekaboo Patterns. So Nirmala auntie is Garima's mom, and she's written a book. Auntie Rishto Ki
Shehar,
Sheher.
रिश्तों के शहर.
city, Shehar,
No, I'm not
all of
getting that.
Shehar, city, Shehar.
शहर. अच्छा, रिश्तों के शहर, सिटी. सो आप गरिमा आंटी बोल रही हूँ, निर्मला आंटी, विल यू बी एबल टू पोस्ट द लिंक फॉर द बुक on the group today? Huh?
Uh,
And
I
how
can
we
send
can buy
PDF.
it, or how we can order it?
Amazon. I will
Sorry.
send that link also.
हाँ, ठीक है. So we look forward.
Hindi, so I
If
think
हाँ, so if you can just post it on our group, then those of us, because I think the topic is very relevant. It's about relationship. It's about women. It's 8 stories. So I'm sure it's going to make for a nice quick read. So we can all pick it up and encourage the writer amongst us also and read. And I feel I'm going to gift it to more people because honestly, I'm not so great with reading Hindi, but definitely I will read
Yeah,
the
that's
8
what I
chapters. Yeah.
that's
And
what I thought ki
yes.
in South it is Hindi is very difficult. Yeah.
हाँ. बट नहीं आंटी, हमारे घरों में तो हमारे जो बड़े हैं वो डेफिनेटली हिंदी पढ़ते हैं और हम भी पढ़ते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है कि हम हिंदी नहीं
इसके
पढ़ते हैं.
पहले जो दोनों
It's,
किताब थी गरिमा ने शिक्षा में तो दी थी वहाँ के हिंदी टीचर को.
अच्छा,
या
ओके, ठीक है. आप लेकिन लिंक आप जरूर से डालिएगा, तो देन
हाँ,
वी विल ऑल मेक आवर वील ऑल प्लेस आवर ऑर्डर्स फॉर इट. ठीक है, लवली.
थैंक यू.
थैंक यू सो मच फॉर शेयरिंग. थैंक यू. Anyone else would like to share anything about yesterday, day before, anything to do with your activities, the general way your day has been, what has been happening? No? Then who's going to read today? It's about magical money check. So who's going to be trying to read? Not trying to read, but reading.
If nobody else is reading, then I can.
I can.
I've already read
I
it.
can also read.
Okay. All right. Anyone else who like to try or who like to read? Otherwise, okay, Rachna, right?
Mm.
All
Yeah.
right, Rachna. Right. So Rachna would like to, Rachna Shroff. So let's give
No,
her.
Rachna Kumar.
No. There's another Rachna.
Acha, there's
Shroff.
Rachna. Acha.
Yeah,
Okay,
Rachna Shroff.
lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she also, I just saw her raise her hand. Rachna,
Okay.
if you can just do the lighting in your place a little bit here, then I think your face is a little in the dark right now. Yeah. If you can do that. Yeah. Okay, so let's get started. It's a little 2-3 minutes early, but anybody else would like to share?
Good morning, Ruchi.
Good morning, Archana. Good
There's
morning.
a second chapter. I don't mind reading.
No, today there's just one chapter because it's on the check. Yeah. So tomorrow maybe we'll be doing 2 chapters because they're 2 small chapters. But today's
Okay.
chapter is a detailed chapter, and again it is on money. So let's give it a good amount of time.
Okay.
Savor it. And read. Yes. So tomorrow I think we'll be doing 2 chapters definitely. So you can read one tomorrow,
Okay.
and someone else can read as well. Yeah. So I think another 2 minutes. So we'll just wait for 2 minutes to get started at sharp.
Ruchi,
Yes, Rachna.
I just want to ask you something.
Yeah.
I'm getting too attached to that rock. So, it is, it's unnerving because when you're going to sleep, you are in a panic कि मुझे वो rock नहीं मिल रही है. And my husband said कि तुम्हारा दिमाग खराब हो गया, छोटे बच्चे हो गए हो कि तुम्हारे को वो कपड़ा चाहिए, वो सूदर चाहिए. So I said नहीं, and I said, and he just doesn't seem to understand what it is. So, there is a panic. So there is any other way of having a detached attachment?
Okay, so then you can just have couple of rocks. You can just have couple of rocks, in which case it kind of comes down. But there's nothing wrong in it, honestly, because the intent and what you're doing with it is not wrong. Like some of us are say this is something what you would call a good addiction. That I
Yeah,
can't.
because I want to now hold it in my hand, say it, and while saying it, I'm just going off to sleep. So it's in my hand. When
Right.
when I'm turning around, I'm seeing, oh my God, I slept with this in my hand.
Yeah. No,
So I
you
was just
can have
wondering.
multiple ones. What you can probably do is have 2-3 more ones. So it could be either a magic rock or it could be something else which is around in your house. Or like I said, like your hair brush at night. So you brush your hair. You use that as it's anchoring. It's nothing but an anchoring. So when you spread out the anchoring, the attachment to the anchoring comes down. So you'll not be
Okay.
attached to that. But it's a good addiction, It's
Yeah,
like
because on that I have drawn a heart. I've said thank you, love
Yeah.
you all. So I think it's just manifesting it so strongly. But I personally don't like. So, I get scared of addictions. I
Addiction.
get
I
scared of.
understand.
Yeah. So I was just
So that's why,
wondering. I said this is.
Yeah,
Just
one day
cross
maybe
my.
just use your hairbrush and say,
Okay.
I'm going to use this and I'm going to think about all the lovely things that happened during the day and what was the most beautiful thing. So you're kind of moving it away from that. That's about
Okay.
that's about it. But that's okay. That's fine.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, 6 o'clock. So Rachna, you ready? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to just share the screen now. Yeah. Just a minute. Yeah. Can you see it? Rachna, are you able to see the screen?
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Shall I start?
Yes. Yes. Please start.
Okay. Day 17, the magic check.
Yeah.
In the magical universe, there are no coincidences and there are no accidents. Nothing happens unless someone wills it to happen.
Yes. So in the magical universe, there are no coincidences and there are no accidents. Nothing happens unless someone wills it to happen. I think this is very vital for us to know that now start believing that if we are all here together today morning, 51 of us, 52 of us, and some people on YouTube who are watching this, it is not a coincidence. And that is why every time you all have been telling that I have really helped you all to do something, I turn around and say, no, because you have been ready at this day and time to be able to bring something like this into your life. So we magnetize and we attract the people in our lives only when we are ready. So there's nothing called a coincidence. Everything happens with a purpose. I think a few of you all don't have your mics on mute. Can you all please check? Because it's on speaker view and every time there's a little disturbance, we'll keep having that shift. So just check if your mics are on mute, please. Yeah. Thank you. So nothing happens as a coincidence. There's nothing that is called an accident. And I love this one particular book, which is called Walk to Remember by Nicholas Sparks. And it's not a self-help book. It's a fiction, but it's a beautiful book because it's about this child who's 14 years old and the faith she has in the Lord. So while all her teenage friends are doing all kinds of things, she's 14, 15 years old, and all the kids of her age are having fun and doing parties and having, their own share of narcotics and everything. She walks around the school with a Bible, and how she begins to convert the naughtiest guy, the most popular guy, and that guy becomes her boyfriend, and how she constantly says, it's all in the Lord's plan. And this line has really stuck with me. It's a book that I read about 15 years ago, and I continue to read it every now and then. It's called, and the sentence she uses a lot, which I love the most, it's called, it's all in the Lord's plan. So you and I may not know it, but somewhere he's sitting with this whole jigsaw puzzle of each of our lives. And slowly, when the time comes, he's putting the puzzles together for us. So there's nothing called a coincidence. There's nothing called an accident. If we're all here together at this hour, it is all planned. It is because I need to get something from you all. You need to get something from me. Okay, so it's a beautiful sentence, and I want you all to really believe in this now, that it is not an accident, it has not happened as a coincidence, but it is planned. You're at the right place at the right time, and then something happens. Okay, yeah, thank you. Rachna?
Yes. When you direct gratitude's magical power towards any negative condition, a new condition is created, eliminating the old condition. That means that when you get yourself to the place where you feel grateful for money more than you feel a lack of money, a new condition is created, eliminating the lack of money and magically replacing it with more money.
Yeah, so now it's important over here that we understand that when we show gratitude, we are creating a new condition. which eliminates the old condition. So if the old condition is having a very negative relationship with money, when I say negative, there is fear, there's anxiety, there is doubt, there is insecurity. All these things are also negative. And when you say that you don't have enough, you're in a negative space. The minute you start saying, thank you so much for all the money that I have, you are coming into a space of abundance. And abundance attracts more money, or gratitude will then attract more money. Okay, all bad feelings, yes.
All bad feelings about money push money away from you and reduce the amount of money in your life. And every time you feel bad about money, you reduce it a little more. If you have feelings about money like envy, disappointment, worry, or fear, you cannot receive more. The law of attraction says that like attracts like. So if you feel disappointed that you don't have enough money, you will receive more disappointing circumstances of not having enough money. If you are worried about money, you will receive more worrying situations about money. If you feel fearful about the state of your money, then you must receive more situations that will come to make you fearful about money.
Yeah, that will
However,
continue. One second. That will continue to make you fearful about money. So, there's a very important word that I like to pick up. One is, of course, disappointment, worry, fear that you don't have enough money, but envy. Okay, and we do meet these two kinds of people in our lives. Suppose you've bought this beautiful bag, okay, and you've gone to a party, or you've gone to a friend's place or a social gathering. You will recognize there are two kind of people. One who will openly come and tell you, oh, what a lovely bag you've picked up, where is this bag from, it's so nice, if you don't mind my asking, how much is it for, did you order it, did someone bring it for you? All those stories which are very positive about that bag. There will be some people who will see the bag from a distance, and then who will just kind of give you a cold shoulder. Okay, because they've seen it, but they don't know how to appreciate. Okay, and we know such people. And honestly, also introspect and think within yourself, how are you about giving compliments to other people? Okay, are you open about your compliments, or do you know that you want to say something good, but what comes in as a thought in your mind, oh, how lucky she is, she has a husband who gets her these fancy things, oh, how lucky she is, she has all the money to buy these things, I'm always struggling to even make my basic necessities to be met. So what kind of a thought are you having when you see some prosperity in somebody else's life? Are you happy for them genuinely? Or some people, okay, there's a third category also, who will probably fake it. So in your mind you are thinking, I'm so jealous, this person has these things and I don't have this bag, or I don't have the money to buy the bag, or she's so lucky she gets to travel all these places where she picks up these fancy things. So the thought is very negative, but because you want to be polite, you say, that's a nice bag. So there's a big difference. You will make out those who are genuinely happy for you, those who are faking it for you, and those who can't even express it. In a way, they're honest, they're not happy, and they're not faking it. So they are not being diplomatic like the middle category, which is thinking negative but trying to say something positive. And people who are there in that frame, or people who are there in a space of envy, because we rarely tell that this person has so much money directly. We probably look at some experience of theirs. Maybe it's a European holiday, maybe it is, like I said, a bag, it could be a new car, it could be some expensive watch, it could be anything. So we look at something material or something which is an experience, and from that we move into judging how much money they must have spent on it. So indirectly we are going back to a fear or lack of money, or envy and disappointment for somebody else's money. So this is very important. The law of attraction says that like attracts like. So if you're going to be disappointed about somebody else's money and you not having enough money, you're not going to allow more money to come in into your lives. Okay, so if you're worried about money, you'll receive more worrying situations about money. If you feel fearful about the state of your money, then you must receive more situations that will continue to make you fearful about money. Remember that lovely video that Anjali had posted about this child, which says, whatever you do, you practice, you become very good at it. If you practice fear, you become very good at becoming fearful. If you practice, disappointment or worry, you become very good at that. So whatever we practice, we become very good at that. Okay, so understand this very, very well, that whatever you are feeling towards your money, you're attracting more and more of that. Yeah, Rachna?
However difficult it may be, you have to ignore the current situation and any lack of money you may currently be experiencing, and gratitude is the guaranteed way for you to do that. You can't be grateful for money and disappointed about money at the same time. You
Yeah,
can't
so you
be
can't be grateful. Just go a little slow. You can't be grateful for money and disappointed about money at the same time. You cannot have both the emotions at the same time. At one time you're saying that I'm so disappointed, I don't have the money to buy such and such thing, and the other minute in your gratitude journal, or you're writing down what has been asked for you to write and say, I'm so grateful for all the money I have. It doesn't work like that. You have to feel it, and then you have to live it. So the first stage is for you to become aware about it and show the gratitude, feel it, and then begin to live it. Yeah, you can't be thinking.
you can't be thinking grateful thoughts
Yeah,
about money and have worried thoughts about money at the same time. Nor can you be grateful for money and have fearful thoughts about money at the same time. When you're grateful for money, not only do you stop the negative thoughts and feelings that push money away from you, you're doing the very thing that brings more money to you. You
yeah.
have
So
all
not, 1 second. You not can you be grateful for money and have fearful thoughts about money at the same time. So no fear, no worry. When you're grateful for money, not only do you stop the negative thoughts and feelings that push money away from you, you're doing the very thing that brings more money to you. So you're going to push away all the new money that is supposed to come to you because you are not ready for the money yet. So be careful about what kind of thoughts you're having. If the automatic thought is of fear, because it's going to take you a while to change that, immediately say, I'm so thankful for all the money I have, and I'm very confident that when I need what money, it will come to me. So that confidence in money is very important. Yes, Rachna?
You have already practiced gratitude for the money you have received and continue to receive. So, before you use gratitude's magical power for the money you want, you need to understand the various ways and avenues that money or riches could come into your life. Because if you're not grateful each time your riches or money increase, you will stop the abundance from flowing to you. Money can come to you through receiving an unexpected check, an increase
Okay,
in
sorry.
salary.
Rachna, 1 second, 1 second.
Okay.
Is the disturbance better now? Because I believe there was some disturbance, and someone wrote that it's probably the fan which is close to me.
Yes, it is better, Ruchi.
It's better.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much for pointing that out. Okay, sorry, I'm going to just read this one more time. You've already practiced gratitude for the money you have received and continue to receive. So, before you use gratitude's magical power for the money you want, you need to understand the various ways and avenues that money or riches could come into your life. So, money is not only in the physical form when somebody gives you hard cash, but money comes to you in various other ways. And you need to also start recognizing them as avenues of money that are coming towards you. Because if you're not grateful each time your riches or money increase, you will stop the abundance from flowing to you. So now she's going to to tell us what are the other ways in which you do receive money, but we are not sensitive towards that. So this will now help us to understand. Yes.
It's not clear.
You're not able to read it?
No, the last I
Okay,
think
I'll
comes
just read that
down.
line and you can take it forward then. Money can come to you through receiving an
And
unexpected check. Now, can you read?
yeah.
Yeah.
An increase in salary, a lottery win, a tax refund, or an unanticipated gift of money from someone. Your money can also increase when somebody else spontaneously picks up the tab for coffee, lunch, or dinner when you are about to purchase an item and you discover it has been discounted. When there's a money back offer on a purchase, or when someone gives you a gift of something you needed to buy. The end result of every one of these circumstances is that you have more money. So, whenever a situation arises, ask yourself, does this circumstance mean that I have more money? Because if it does, you need to be very grateful for the money you are receiving through that circumstance.
Okay, 1 second. Now, so what are the various ways that you know that you're getting unexpected money? Okay, money can come to you through receiving an unexpected check, an increase in salary, a lottery win, a tax refund, unanticipated gift of money from someone. Your money can also increase when somebody else spontaneously picks up the tab for coffee, lunch, or dinner when you're about to purchase an item and you discover it has been discounted. So please understand these are all places where you are saving a lot of money. And when there's a money back offer on a purchase, or when someone gives you a gift of something you needed to buy, so it is something very useful and you wanted it, and somebody has just gifted it, so you have saved that amount of money. And I don't know whether I was discussing it here on our magical mornings or elsewhere, I don't remember, but actually the COVID situation has also made us save a lot of money. So one of the things we can be grateful for in this pandemic is to say that I have saved so much money without going out to malls, movies, lunches, dinners. Yes, we miss those social outings, but somewhere we have now got used to being here in this situation and understand that how much money we have actually managed to save by just doing these things or just being in this situation. So even this, in the pandemic right now, we have saved a lot of money. So that money is also abundance for us. And if we say a thank you to this money that we have saved, I think it's a good 20-30,000 on an average that we have saved, because there's no shopping happening, there is no outing, malls, eating too much food outside, none of these entertainment factors that are happening, and that is all money that is saved. So you need to give a lot of gratitude to the money that has been saved even during the pandemic. Okay, if you tell a friend, yeah.
If you tell a friend you're about to buy an item and the friend offers to lend or
Very item.
give you the very item because they don't use it, or if you're planning to travel and you hear about a discounted special that you end up taking, or if your lending institution lowers their interest rate, or a service provider offers you a far better package, your money magically increased through the saving of money. Are you getting the idea of the unlimited situations where you can receive money?
Yeah, so now she's giving us more and more places where we are saving money. So suppose you tell a friend that, I'm planning to buy this appliance or whatever, and your friend says, oh, you know what, I have two of these, or I'm not using it, why don't you take mine? You've saved the money because you are not going out there and buying it. That is also saying thank you, because you have more and more of that coming in. If you're planning to travel and suddenly you hear about a discounted rate going on, a special package that has come up, then that money, which is the balance, is also the money that you are saving. If you are a lending institute, and if your lending institution lowers their interest rate or a service provider offers you a far better package, your money magically increased through the saving of money. So please get this point, that it is not only when we receive money as cash, but through these various avenues. And we need to now become very sensitive or very aware that where all am I saving this money. So even if you have gone to a parlor and they have some kind of a package which says you get you get your eyebrows, your upper lips, and your hair color and your waxing and everything done, and if you take a package like this, it will cost you this much, plus you will get these services. So please understand, again, you are saving money over there, so that is also money coming to you. So we need to understand that abundance comes in various forms. We need to become sensitive towards that. Okay, please read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely you have experienced some of these. That line is not clear again.
Okay, some of these situations in the past, and whether you realized it or not at the time, they
They
occurred
occur,
because you attracted them. Yes.
but when gratitude is your way of life, you attract magical situations all the time. Many people call it good luck, but it's not luck at all. It's universal law.
Okay, so if you all play tambola, all right, you will know, and especially if you're playing it at a club and all, like say an MCC or a Gymkhana or a Cosmo or whichever club, or a Madras club or wherever, if you're playing tambola, you will notice that there are certain people who always win at tambola. I don't know, but I have noticed this. But somewhere, they have a lot of uh, probably that whole intention, that whole feeling that I always win at Tambola, no matter what, whether it is a Jaldi 5 or whether it is a full house, they will win something, And my mother in law is like that. She always comes back from her kitty party with one gift which she gets from her Tambola. And I always wonder, because I never win. I just don't get anything. Maybe because I never look at tambola as an exercise to win something. I only look at tambola as an exercise to have fun. I get very bored with these games very easily, so maybe that is why I'm not in a very positive phase or positive attraction towards that activity, and therefore I really don't receive. And today, right now, I'm understanding why I never win, because I don't look at it like something for me which is very important. But there are some people who have a very different attitude when they play these games, and they always end up winning. So that is also money that they are receiving, so that is also money that you are getting. Yeah. Any circumstance
Any
that results. Yeah.
any circumstance that results in you having more money or receiving something that cost money is a result of your gratitude. You'll feel great joy in knowing that you did it, and when you combine your joy with your gratitude, you have a real magnetic force that will keep attracting more and more abundance.
Lovely. So, any circumstance that results in you having more money or receiving something that cost money is a result of your gratitude. You'll feel great joy in knowing that you did it. And when you combine your joy with your gratitude, you have a real magnetic force that will keep attracting more and more abundance. So, the minute you start feeling grateful, you are already in a space of joy, and gratitude and joy put together will make for a fantastic magnetic force which will attract even more money towards you. Okay, all right, Rachna.
When I arrived in the United States several years ago, I arrived with 2 suitcases. I worked in a bare bones apartment with my computer on my lap. I didn't have a car, so I mostly walked everywhere, but I was grateful for everything. I was grateful to be in the United States. I was grateful for the work I was doing. I was grateful for the bare bones apartment with its 4 plates, 4 knives, 4 forks, and 4 spoons. I was grateful that I could walk to most places, and I was grateful that there was a taxi stand right across the street. Then something incredible happened. A person I knew decided to gift me a driver and a car for a few months.
Other than my computer.
Other than my computer, I was living with the most material things. Sorry. Other than my computer, I was living with the most basic material things to survive. And then suddenly I had my own personal driver and car. I was grateful, so I was given more. And that is exactly how the magic happens with gratitude.
Okay, thank you. So she's just sharing her story about how she started at the bare minimums and how, because she had gratitude for everything, it just kept increasing. Yes, today is magical. Yeah.
Today's magical practice for the money you want to receive has brought astounding results to many people. At the end of this practice, you will find a blank magic check from the gratitude bank of the universe, and you are going to write out the magic check to yourself. Fill in the amount of money you want to receive along with your name and today's date. Choose a specific amount of money for one thing you really want, because you will be able to feel more gratitude for the money when you know what you're going to spend the money on. Money is a means to what you want, but it's not the end result. So if you just thought about money per se,
See?
you wouldn't be able to feel as much gratitude. When you imagine getting the things you really want or doing the things you really want to do, you will feel far more gratitude than if you were just being grateful for money.
Okay, so very important exercise over here. Why do you need the money, and what is the specific amount you need the money for? I don't know. Some of you all might not have heard this story of mine because it was on the first day that I had shared this. And when I had done this exercise in the month of June, and they said that, when we came to this exercise about writing about the magic check and everything, I was just asking myself, I don't want money for anything per se right now. Okay. Now, what that really means is that I don't want a car, I don't want a house, I don't want a solitaire, I don't want to go shopping, I can't travel. So I'm not asking for money for a travel destination or any of that. And I was really questioning myself, what do I write the amount, and for what do I write this amount for? What is the amount I write, and for what do I write it? And so I said, one thing I always love doing is getting more and more learning. And I was about to sign up for my ICF certification, and I had to put in the first amount, which was a good 69,000 rupees that I had to pay for the first installment of the training. And I said, okay, you know what, let me write it out for this. And I did share it, and Manjula's there on call, and others also who are associated with Sherwood Hall. And I got not the exact amount, but a very close amount to that when they called me back as an educational consultant. And it happened within less than 12 hours of me writing the check down, the amount I wanted, and for what I wanted the amount. So that is very important. Don't give a vague amount like, say, 1 lakh rupees for something very vague. No, be very specific, even if it means you want to buy, say, 15,000 rupees for a new refrigerator, or 25,000 rupees for a new whatever gadget that you want to replace an existing one with. But be very specific with what you want to do with the money and what is the amount. And the best part is, once you have received that, you can create the next magic check. So after you have received the money for that, like today, I'm going to make my next magic check for maybe in my next installment for my ICF coaching, or there's another course in Harvard online that I'm keen on doing. So maybe I'm going to sign up for that. So whatever be the amount, once that the amount has been taken care of. Rukmini, I think your thing is not on mute. Can you please put it on mute? I can hear your lovely dog, but not right now. Thank you. Right. So
Sorry.
no problem about that. Yeah. So what you need to do is you need to write down what that check is, and once that check, or once you have received that money, you say thank you for the money, and then you write out another check. So that's the beauty of this. Today, when you print it out, if you can print it out today, print out at least 5-6 checks. Don't just print out one, so that as and when one gets over, you can start writing on the next one. Okay. Yeah, you can.
You can photocopy or scan the magic check from the book. You can also use the
Yeah, you can also
You
get.
can also get an abundance of blank magic checks. You can also get an abundance of blank magic checks from
Magic check.
www.thesecrettv/magic
So,
check.
okay, no problem. What I'm going to be doing is I will be sharing an image of the magic check. So, you all can mail this to yourselves and make multiple copies on one A4 size sheet itself and then take a printout. So, then what happens is you cut those out and it becomes those blank checks. So, at least take out 4 printouts so that once one is over, you can write the magic check for the next one and you can keep doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want, you can start with a smaller amount on your first magic check. And after you receive the smaller amount, you can keep increasing the amounts on your next checks. The benefit of starting with a smaller amount is that when you magically receive it, you will know that you did it. You will know absolutely that the magic of gratitude worked, and the gratitude and joy you feel will make bigger amounts believable to you.
Okay, so this is just the same as when you start gymming. The first day you don't start doing gymming for your highest level. You start slowly. So this is the same thing as that. You get started slowly. So start out for writing small amounts. It could be something like I said. Maybe you want to replace a hand mixer. What you want to replace something very basic that you want to take. Depending upon whatever that basic is for you, write down what you want the money for. Very important, because having clarity on where I'm going to use the money that I'm going to receive is very, very important. It could be for a college education fund, it could be for your health insurance, it could be to send to your parents, it could be to buy something for yourself or for your loved ones, it could be for anything. It need not be just for yourself, it could be for various other sources as well. So, what do I need the money for is very, very important, and write down as exact an amount as you have in mind. Okay, and that really makes it work. And start out with smaller things, and then you can move on to larger things. Yeah, once you have filled.
Once you have filled in the details of the magic check, hold the check in your hands and think about the specific thing you want the money for. Get a picture in your mind and visualize yourself actually using the money to get the very thing that you want, and put as much excitement and gratitude into it as you can.
Yeah, so now this is
Maybe
again very important. You don't just write the magic check and you let it be there somewhere in your book or somewhere that you can see it. You need to visualize that how this money is bringing you what you desire. So, when I did this exercise, I visualized myself with a group of, and I've got a fantastic group of people, extremely accomplished, very well set of people with whom I'm now doing my ICF certification. So I visualize this whole thing. I'm going to have so much fun learning these new things, understanding concepts, discussing how work happens when you're in a coaching relationship. And I visualized all of that. And that is why probably my intent was so clear. My reason for what I want the money was so clear. My amount was so clear that it came to me in less than 12 hours. So this part is very important, that you take the check out, hold it in your hand, visualize. It's the same thing like your dreams. You saturate it with all your gratitude, and you say how good you are feeling about having this money in your hand, and what else this money has been able to give you. That is very important. Yeah, maybe you want the money.
Maybe you want the money for a new pair of shoes, a computer, or a new bed. So picture yourself actually buying what you want in a store. If you would purchase what you want online, then picture yourself receiving the delivery. So you feel excitement and gratitude. You might want the money to travel overseas or for your child's college education. So imagine buying your airplane ticket or opening a college bank account, and feel as happy and grateful as if you really received it.
Yes, as if you've really received it. So she's also giving you all the options that in case it is something that you, and I think she's anticipated it somewhere. So she said, maybe even if it has to come online, you need to shop online for it. Then imagine the joy you are receiving when the Amazon or Flipkart or from wherever it is coming, that parcel arrives in your house, and how good you are feeling about receiving it, about sanitizing it, and then about opening the box and then being happy about it and using it or whatever it is. If it is something for an overseas ticket, so I think it's time we all start visualizing these airplane tickets, because I think I'm really going to do that. So visualize these airplane tickets that are there in your hand, which is getting you to travel and letting you go wherever you wish to go, opening a college bank account, feeling happy and grateful as you have received, as if you've really received it. Yes.
After you've completed these steps, take the magic check with you today or put it in a place where you will see it often. On a, on at least 2 more occasions during the day today, take the magic check in your hands. Picture yourself actually using the money for what you wanted and feel as grateful and excited as you can, as though you're really doing it. If you want, you can do it more times in the day. As with any other magical practice, you can't do it too often.
Yeah, if you want, you can do it more times in the day. As with any other magical practice, you can't do it too often. So, no matter how many times you want to do it, it is never too much. You want to do it 10 times, you want to do it 5 times, you want to do it 7 times, whatever number of times you want to do it. Take that magic check in your hand and picture yourself actually using the money for what you wanted, and feel as grateful and excited as you can, as though you are really doing it. Now this is also very important. How deeply do you desire it? How very keen are you on getting what you want? So that shows your passion. If you are just doing it because it's an activity and you've been asked to do it, ki chalo ha likhna hai, and you don't have an excitement for it, you're not going to attract it as quickly as it would have happened if you genuinely show that excitement. Okay, even if you say that I want say 50,000 rupees because I want to help somebody out who is in need, and I want that money to be there. It will make that person's life so comfortable. It will help my maid, it will help the maid's child's education, whatever be the reason. If you can show that excitement as to why you want that money, that is very, very important. And only that will really help you to get that money. So, how many times you want to feel excited about it with that check in your hand is completely up to you. It cannot ever be too often. So you can do it as many times as you want. But that excitement is important. Yes. At the end of the day.
At the end of today, either keep your magic check where you had it or put it in another prominent place where you will see it daily. You could put it on your bathroom mirror, your refrigerator, underneath your magic rock, in your car or wallet, or on the background of your computer. Anytime you see your magic check, feel as though you received the money and be grateful that now you can have or do what you want.
Yeah, so again she's asking us, I think at the end of the book we'll have a house full of all these affirmations and everything everywhere, and we'll constantly remain in that state. So wherever you want to put the money up, you want to pin it up on a board, you want to put it up on a refrigerator, you want to put it near your computer where you work, or even near your magic rock, so that every night when you pick your magic rock up, you also see your magic check over there, and you visualize what you're going to do with that amount for whenever you receive that amount. So this is more about your manifestations, about your affirmations, which need to happen on a continuous basis until you have received it. Okay, so keeping it in a prominent place where you can see it is very important. Yeah.
When you have received the money on your magic check, or if you receive the item you wanted to spend the money on in another magical way, replace the check with a new amount for something else that you really want and continue with the magic check practice as long as you want.
Yeah, so like I said, print out 4 copies today itself, because I feel 4 or 5 might come out well on an A4 size paper. We save paper as well. We don't keep printing out one check, but we print out 4, 5 and keep it at one shot. When you have received that magical amount, for the first amount, then you can put the check away. You can tear the check away. You can say thank you so much for the money to it, and then you can write on the next check for whatever you want. Okay, so this can be done with as many checks, and this is for life. You keep doing these practices all the time. And don't forget, while we are doing this magic check activity, you still say thank you paid for all the bills that you have paid. And the ones that are unpaid, you write thank you for the money. So please remember, we are building up and learning more and more techniques to keep bringing gratitude into our lives. So just because we have learned this today about the magic check doesn't mean we forget about the bills, or we forget about the amount that we need to give to someone else, or an unpaid bill. We need to keep adding these practices. So please don't think that, okay, now I'm only going to believe in the magic check. No, you still say thank you for the money that you have. And how do you do it? When you have paid a bill, you have paid the bill only because you have the money. So you say thank you paid. And the money that you need to have for unpaid bills, you say thank you for the money. So please don't forget the previous practices. You know that you are adding to the existing practices. Okay, magic practice 17.
The magic check. Count your blessings. Make a list of 10 blessings. Write why you are grateful. Reread your list, and at the end of each blessing, say thank you, thank you, thank you, and feel as grateful for that blessing as you can. Fill in your magic check with the amount of money you want to receive, along with your name and today's date. Hold your magic check in your hands and imagine purchasing the specific thing you want the money for. Feel as happy and grateful as you can that you have received it. Take the magic check with you today, or put it in a place where you will see it often, on, on at least 2 or more occasions. Take the check in your hands, picture yourself using the money for what you want, and feel as grateful as though you were really doing it. At the end of today, keep your magic check in a prominent place where you will see it daily. When you have received the money on your check, or if you receive the item you wanted to spend the money on, replace the check with a new amount for something else you want, and repeat steps 2 to 4.
Yeah. So
Just before
now, 1 second, Rachna. Now, what is important to remember is that these steps are very important. So please don't think and say that I will just write out my magic check and leave it. No, saturating it with gratitude, visualizing it with as if it has already been done is equally important. Okay. So repeat steps 2 to 4 once you have magically received that money. And visualizing what you will do with the money, I feel, is even more important than physically writing that check down. So please make sure that you do write it down first, and then you go ahead and you visualize what you're going to do with the money. And then the third step over there is to put the check up in a place where you can see it all the time. Okay, yeah, just before you go to sleep.
Just before you go to sleep tonight, hold the magic rock in one hand and say the magic words, thank you, for the best thing that happened during the day. Download a copy of the magic check from www.thesecrettv/magiccheck. Then fill in the date, your name, and the amount you wish to receive in the currency of your choice.
Yeah, so you can write it in pounds, you can write it in dollars, you can write it in rupees, whatever you want to. You can write it in whichever currency of your choice. And I will be posting the check on the group itself, so you really need not go there. But at any time when later on you're looking for it, you can just go onto the site of The Secret, because they have all these resources over there as well. Okay, so that's the exercise for today. Thank you so much, Rachna, for reading. And
Thank you so much for allowing me to read.
thank you. Not at all. My pleasure. Thank you. So it's a beautiful exercise, and I love it that it's come on Monday because it's the start of a productive week. So let's start it with some money. And like I said, even in the first time, that let's not have a negative feeling towards money, which says money makes us greedy, or money makes us, a very practical, or a very, very selfish person, or any of that. No, it doesn't do that, because unless you have the money, you cannot do charity, you cannot help other people. So whatever be the reason why you need the money, it is important you have the money in your life, but having a positive attitude towards money is what is very important. So I spent a lot of time on that envy, that fear, the worry, the jealousy. So please keep in mind, are you somebody who appreciates other people? So if you are not, start coming into that zone, because if you have a negative relationship with money, and you say, no, I'll be very positive only about the money that comes to me, it doesn't happen like that. But because at one stage you also have envy for other people's money, so you are in a negative space, you're not going to attract money. So be genuinely happy for people when you see them, or when they have got something new, or if they've traveled and they've come back, and all of that. And don't hold yourself back and say, or when you hold yourself back is when you have these negative emotions, which are of envy, of jealousy, and saying disappointment and worry and unhappiness, because they have it and you don't have it. You're already coming into a negative space. You have to be very happy and grateful for other people. That is when abundance begins to come into your life, and it's a very important factor. The magic check or any of these exercises are not going to work for you if you have these negative thoughts for other people. Okay, so it's important you start having positive feelings towards other people, and say, I'm so happy to know a friend who has gone and visited, say, Greece, and come back. Now next time whenever I want to go to Greece, I can always check with her and find out what to do and what not to do. So look at these things from that attitude, because only then are you developing a positive attitude towards money. Once you have that positive attitude, you're going to start attracting more and more money into your life. Okay, so I think the chapter is quite clear. I'm going to post the check, and you all can take printouts, like I said, on an A4 size. Let's not waste paper, so let's take at least 4 or 5 printouts. You can place it and see how many ever comes in, and take a printout of that, cut it out, and on each magic check, let's start with one check at a time with smaller amounts. And on the amount, write what is the amount and for what do you want it. Then hold the check, visualize how you're feeling when you have received that money. What are the things that are happening? Whom are you talking to? How many more people have heard about it, and how happy they are for you? And all of that, visualize all of that. Then once it is done, keep it in a place where you can see it more often. It can be on the refrigerator, in the cupboard, in the bathroom mirror, or your dressing table mirror, wherever, or near your computer, which is your workplace, wherever you want to keep that magic check. And every time you see it, it makes you believe you're going to get that amount very soon. And once you've received it, say thank you so much, paid, or I have received it. Say thank you to the show your gratitude again to the universe, and then write out your next check. Okay, so we're going to repeat this exercise not just today, but as and when you keep getting your money for whatever you want. And yes, you hold your magic rock at night, and you will be writing your 10 blessings for yesterday. That's standard. Now those are our vitamins, we don't do without them. So our day starts with those. Okay, it's your gratitude pill, and you don't do it without that. Okay, so any doubts, any clarifications? I'm sorry about the mic. I didn't know my fan is going to cause stir, but thank you so much for putting it, bringing it to my notice, so that at least the second half was slightly better without the buzzing sound. Yes. So Hina says that she already has 3 affirmations. The gift of health is keeping me alive. Thank you. Each plan going well. Thank you for the great news coming to me today. Yes, I think it's a nice thing to write. Thank you for the great news that is going to come to me today. And today the fourth goes up. Thank you, Hina. Thank you for pointing it out to us as a list. So if we don't have these things, I'm definitely going to put that. Thank you for the great news I'm going to receive today. I didn't have that. I'm going to put that up. So thank you for sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruchi, I'd like
Yeah,
to share.
yeah, Pooja.
Yeah, when you said the great news coming today, so the day when you said, and then the next day I wrote, I was expecting a parcel past 4 days. And I don't know for what reason the courier got stuck or, it was not coming. And that day also I spoke to that person who was going to send the parcel, the manager. But he said, no, it's coming. It'll definitely reach you. Then he again reconfirmed me, has it reached you? I said, no, it's not reached me as yet. But at 11:45 in the night, he messaged me saying that you've got the parcel and your staff help has signed in the parcel. I was a little astonished. How come I'm not come to notice it? And I was a little upset that I wrote I got the great news, but I haven't got anything. It was a very small thing, and I ran down to just get that small parcel of mine, and I was so excited. I was like, "Oh God, this was the great news that I got today." Even in small things, you
Yes.
can anticipate and you can think about great news.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's not for the big news always. It has to be even for the small things that you hear. And one of the chapters that comes up later is about magical cues and how we need to start identifying these small things. And what you did right now was actually picked up a magical cue. And the more we become aware of these, the more you will see that there's magic all through the day around you. We become very sensitive towards that, but it's about us being in that state. And consistently she's also talking about removing the negativity in our lives, because the sooner we get clear of that negativity is when we will start attracting more and more positive things. So it has to go hand in hand, removal of the negative and welcoming the positive. And I always look at it like this: if you've decided to go on a diet and you have gone and picked up the best fruits and the best vegetables from the market, and you tell yourself, I'm only going to have healthy stuff from today, but your fridge, your refrigerator is stocked with a lot of stale stuff. Will you have space to put your fresh things inside? You don't. So you need to clear all that out before you have place for something fresh to be put in. So please remember, all these negative exercises, however uncomfortable they make us, they're very important. It's taking out all the stale food from your refrigerator first, because there's no point in stuffing in the stale food and your fresh food in the same place. It doesn't make sense. You won't have enough space for your fresh food. So what you need to do is you need to clear out your refrigerator, you need to declutter, throw away whatever you don't need, and make space for all the new things. So look at it from that point of view. That is why cleansing your negative is as important from time to time as bringing in the positive. Okay, so keep that in mind. And if you haven't done your exercises about negative situations, one negative person, any of those things, please, I request you, please do it. Do it in the second half of the day, but it's important you do it. Don't let it go. Don't say that I don't have it. It could be anything. It could be something very minor where you've had a tiff with somebody and you sort it out. I had a call with Rachna, and Rachna was telling me about it and how magically it changed her relationship. However little bit there was of bitterness, even that went away. So even if it is little, doesn't matter, clear it out. Don't hold on to it, because it is these little things which magnify. We don't even realize it, and they take home, and then they keep growing within us. So why give them an opportunity to do that? Anything small, let go of it then and there. Okay. And I have a beautiful meditation exercise that I love doing. It's called the 6 phase meditation. So maybe I will do it one of these days after we are done with the book. Maybe one day we will just do the 6 phase meditation, where beautifully it's done by Vishen Lakhani from Mind Valley, and how beautifully he interweaves that your gratitude has to be every day, your forgiveness has to be every day, your visualization has to be every day. If it's not not about doing only gratitude today, only forgiveness tomorrow, only affirmations day after. Every day you need to spend time, at least 15 to 20 minutes on all these things. So you begin by gratitude, you go on to forgiveness, you do affirmation, plan out your day. So it's a beautiful 6 phase meditation, and I would love to do it with the group. So maybe we will do it once we are done with the book. But all I'm trying to say is it's important it is practiced on a day-to-day basis. Okay. So thank you, Pooja. I don't know. You said
I had a doubt also.
yes, yes,
I had a doubt. Like
yeah,
you just said that we should not get envious about.
yes, yes,
But knowingly, unknowingly, sometimes when you see someone, or you just talk to your friend and say like, "Arey yaar, uske paas to tha. She's so lucky." I mean, you're feeling good about it, but then
yeah,
in that process, you come out with
yes,
like she's so lucky, or if you're
yeah,
reciprocating with your friend about it. So is
yes.
that also wrong? We should
Yeah,
stop doing it.
so I'll tell you about this. Okay, now this is in a technique that we use called cognitive behavior therapy. And what you just said is ant. It's an automatic negative thought. Okay, so remember it as a ant. So what happens when an ant bites you? You have that quick
Itching.
sensation. हाँ?
Yeah.
एक चींटी जब काटती है. So I'm trying to make it easy for you to remember that what is an ant. Ant is your automatic negative thought, and it's not wrong. Our DNA is such, because we were hunters a long time ago. We had this fear, we had this flight or fright syndrome, freeze or flight syndrome. What that meant was, when an animal would come in front of us, we would either fight it, or we would freeze, or we would flight, or we would run away from it. Okay, so our automatic system is to protect ourselves. So when we have this automatic negative thought, we are protecting ourselves. Okay, but remember it like an ant bite. Okay, you had that first automatic negative emotion or negative thought. How will you replace it? And how will you say? You immediately use the word, I am so happy that she has it. That's
So
all you have to do.
we are happy
Yes,
invariably
so
in
but
that.
then replace it. Instead of saying, or the first thought is, Are uske paas hai. That is fine. But Are uske paas hai, I am so happy uske paas hai. That immediately shifts the mood. And say, I'm so happy that you got it. Maybe I will get to use it. Maybe I can borrow it from you sometime. Maybe you can tell me where I can get a good deal on it. All that puts you into a positive space with that person. Remember, like I said, if somebody has gone to Greece and come back, or has gone to any place of your choice, the minute you see the pictures, the first thing is like, "Arey wah, bade maze hai usko to. She gets to travel all the world, and I'm so envious." We may not use the word envy, but these thoughts are all around envy. But replace it and say, I'm so happy. A very good friend of mine has gone and come back. Now, when I plan my trip, I will be able to ask her for details. Right? So keep that in mind and start changing your thoughts around it. So that becomes your ant, your automatic negative thought. It bites you for a second, but you know how to now change it around.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for asking. Yes,
Ruchi,
yes, that's now.
I just wanted to ask you that the check that I make today,
Yes.
the magic check,
Mhm.
I need to write on the check for what I need, or
No.
is it a visualization?
No, that's a visualization unless you know for what you want to pay it. Yes, there
Yeah,
is a
of course.
column that
Huh,
says pay.
huh, yeah.
So you can write to what you want to pay it. So say you want to pay it to GRT Jewelers. I can't think of any
Okay.
other seller. So
Yeah.
GRT Jewelers for whatever the amount is. So to
Huh,
whom you're going to pay it. That is
okay.
also important. If
Got
you
it.
know it, okay. If
Huh.
you don't know it as yet, you can just write down for what it is. Right? You may
I
not.
mean, when you said that visualization of where it has to go, it
Yes,
becomes more desirous, and it
absolutely.
is more saturated, because
Yes,
that's what is the intent. I mean,
yes,
you can't just say I want, so it can become greed,
yeah,
instead of the need. So
yes,
so if, because that
yeah,
concept of need is very important, that
important.
I
Absolutely.
need
Yeah.
to
No,
buy
all I'm
the.
trying to say is maybe say you have decided you want to buy a refrigerator, but you don't know from where you're going to buy it. So here
Okay,
you want
okay.
to write on top of it, I don't know, I can think of Fumra Electricals right now. So maybe if you're on call, I'm just going to use Fumra Electricals. So whether it is Fumra Electricals or whether it's Ratna store or whether it's Sarvana store or whatever, Vivek's or what, you've probably not decided from where you want to buy it. In that case, you can just write down for what it is. But
Okay,
like you
yeah.
said, saturation and making it very clear. The clearer it is, the easier it is for the universe to hand it over to you. It's the same thing as koi paneer le aao ya palak paneer le aao. It's as simple as that, you know. So you get very specific with what you want, and that really helps. Okay. Yeah.
And
Thank
in
you.
continuation
That's
to, yeah, in continuation to this question, I just wanted to be a little more specific. So,
Yeah.
like, suppose if I want a specific amount of money for my
फोन आपका
son's
इधर ही है.
college.
Sorry, whose microphone is on? Sorry. Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah, suppose I know that I want this amount of money for my son's college
Yeah.
fees. So the
Yeah.
check will have my name written on it, and I'll visualize myself writing a check for his college,
Yes.
or the college name jiska fees mere ko pay.
You can even put down the college name. That's even more specific. But what you need to visualize is that you are writing the check for that college university.
Okay.
You are visualizing it. Okay?
Okay.
The name of the college can definitely be there. And if you know the tuition fee that you want to write, that can definitely be there. So that's not a problem, but you are writing it. When you're visualizing it, you are visualizing that you are depositing the check and the admissions have happened and now Krishnanshu is moving towards it and all of that. That visualizing you do over there.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Lovely.
Ruchi,
Yeah, Rachna.
on this question,
Yeah.
is it a visualization of my receiving the check, or is it a visualization of my giving a check for something?
No, so now it depends what the check is about. Now, if the check is about, like, say, she said for her son's college education, so you
Yeah.
are visualizing that you are giving the check or the amount for the college education, and the visualization is all about how he's packing up to go for college and how he's excited about it and how you're probably going and dropping him and how he is with his laptop or everything and how he wants to make new friends, study new courses, and how you're very happy that you were able to do this for your child. So at
Okay.
that moment you are giving it. Okay, but it could be if you are receiving something. So say you are supposed to receive a refrigerator, so your excitement can be that I have received it and I have got a beautiful now big refrigerator in my kitchen or wherever, and I have cleanly stocked everything up. I'm only keeping stuff which I require. I'm not putting anything which is not needed or I think I might use later. I'm not doing any of that. It's looking so shiny and bright, and the cooling is so effective, and the ice is getting frozen so fast, and whatever. But that visualization is about the product you are receiving.
Yeah, no,
In
no.
that case, you're receiving it.
No. So that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
That for that product also, I'm going to write a check. So
Yeah, that's
in
okay.
my mind,
Yeah.
my mind, I was thinking that I'm visualizing that I am getting thank you for having received
Yeah.
5 lakhs for blah blah
Whatever.
blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So am I visualizing it, receiving it, or am I visualizing that, oh, I've written a check for my interiors for this room
Yeah.
and this room?
So I would say you write it for receiving it. Because
Yeah.
what is it? Yeah, because that's why. So if it is a product or if it is an experience, how are you feeling once you have received it?
Okay. Yeah.
That
So
is, yes.
no, in her case also,
Yeah.
if it's both ways. I mean, I don't know how resourceful or how powerful an information will become if you are writing a check to the company, which is wherever the child is going for a flat or an apartment or a
Yes,
flight
yes.
or whatever,
Yeah.
or to the college. Or is it going to be more resourceful or powerful if you are writing about receiving, because the process is about receiving the money
Yeah.
or
The
writing the check.
experience around it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
see, for her in the first case, what is important is that we have the check ready to
Yeah.
in order to do it. Okay.
Yes, yeah,
Which could
yeah.
also be the case in your case. Suppose you want that
Yeah.
5 lakh for an interior, but
Huh.
why I said more of how did that money bring you that joy? Because for you, it is more about the experience. But when you're writing a college check, it is
Yeah.
more about having the money to pay for the tuition. So that is
No,
why.
but
But
for
you know,
both,
either
no.
ways, Yeah.
For both, it is about money.
Yeah.
For the
Either ways,
experience,
it works.
yeah, it is
Either ways
works.
it
Okay.
works. Yeah, either ways it works. For me, I just resonate that with college education, the first step is to be able to write out that
Write
check.
a check. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
for me, it was more about that. So even when I visualized for my ICF certification, I just
Yeah.
visualized that I have the money. But what I visualized more was the experience I was having
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the coaching. You know, so no matter what, the coaching will still happen and the cost will still happen. But this money has come in to make me have this experience. So
Experience.
either ways, it works. Whatever
Okay.
works, you know, but
Okay.
saturating it is what is very important.
No, in because it becomes, I don't know the source from where it is coming.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I will not be able to write from somewhere.
yeah, you can't.
But when I know, I mean, I'm imagining a source that I suppose you, like you said, I was writing a check to GRT
Yeah,
makes more a specific
yes,
rendering of the check to a specific source.
please,
So it,
absolutely.
but I don't know from where I'm going to receive. So
Correct.
that to or from will not, but my name, I am putting my name and I have received the money. That
Yes,
is what is the
that
difference.
is what is important. From where
Ha,
it's coming is not
it is
important.
not
It's
important,
not important.
exactly.
Where it's going and how it will make you feel is what is very important. That is
Okay.
extremely important.
So
Yeah.
can we make two checks, one of receiving it, and then I'm writing the check for the
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's like your unpaid bill. So you say
yeah,
thank you for the money.
yeah, yeah,
Like that,
yeah,
you know? Like, so suppose if your interior person has already given you an estimate,
uh-huh.
right? So on that estimate, you write thank you for the money
Okay,
because you're already in that faith that you are going to get the money. So you write thank you for the money. And then on this magic check, you write down the amount and you say, this is going to come to me. So the source is not important. The intent to where
okay.
you're
But
going
if you haven't received the bill
yeah,
and the
that's
source,
okay.
yeah,
No, no,
source
that's okay.
is
This was
not
just an example
there.
I was
Yes,
giving.
but
This was just an example I was giving. In case you have the invoice, then you can make it even more powerful because you have an invoice and you say thank you for the money and then you make a check for it. So it becomes, you know, you're doubling it up over there,
yes, yes, yeah.
which can also be done. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Ruchi.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank
Yes.
you.
I think somebody wanted to speak.
Yeah, Ruchi, it's me, Madhu.
Yeah, Madhu.
I have my video is not on, but I would
Yeah,
just
okay,
like
no
to
problem. Yeah.
share something.
Yeah.
Last night I slept very late. I had a very bad headache, and
Okay.
I switched off my alarm for today morning's class. I said it's and during the day, in the
I'll
YouTube, I'll
see it.
just watch it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but as you said, it is not a coincidence. It had to happen.
Yeah.
Believe me, at 5:45, even though I slept so late,
Right.
5:45, my alarm was off, and I just woke up and I
Right.
connected to the class. I mean, to this
I'm so happy.
session. So it is something that the universe wanted me to attend today because many things have been answered today listening to the session, and I think that is why somewhere you manifest, you
What you
desire,
desire comes to you. You attract it.
and yes, and get manifested. It's such a simple thing, and you just mentioned it today that nothing is a coincidence. That's why I could
Yes.
relate this to all. And thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Ruchi.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so
Have a
much,
nice day.
everyone.
Thank you.
Also, yes. Uh,
Hi,
somebody wanted.
Ruchi.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hi,
Ruchi.
Aarti.
Yeah,
Hi, Aarti.
I would like
Yeah.
to share a few of my experiences.
Yes, please
And
do. Yeah.
yeah, first thing is, there was this thing called, love your body. I
Hmm.
used to always feel that I was very short in height, and I used to have a very loved one
Hmm.
who would always tell me that, I'm so short, I'm so short, I'm so short. That actually got into me, that I
Right.
actually I lost my confidence. And I
Right.
would, every time keep questioning myself, why the hell am I so short? Why did, God do this to me and things like that.
Yeah.
But one fine day, I learned this from a mentor,
Hmm.
an exercise where you look into the mirror, look
Hmm.
at yourself, and just keep saying positive things about your body, how you look, how you feel, how your hair is, how your skin is. And
Hmm.
that time this thing struck me, like, this is within me, that I'm short. I actually started doing this exercise every morning.
Lovely.
And now I've totally come out of it, and I feel very confident about
Confident.
myself and my looks.
Yes.
So this exercise, also looking into the mirror, the first thing when you get up in the morning and you say, I'm so beautiful. Oh, I have lovely hair. I have, a radiant skin. This really helped me, and, I'm out of it.
Yeah.
So
Thank
this,
you.
yeah, it helped me.
Yeah.
And the second thing is giving compliments. The first thing that you said,
Yes.
I'm a person I would admire, a lot of things, but I was always hesitant to go give a compliment to someone. What would they think about it and things
Mm,
like that.
mm,
But I also learned this: when you give compliments, really from the bottom of your heart, it actually touches the person, and you can actually see the glow on their face. And
yes.
when I actually started doing this, I had to come out of this comfort zone of mine, and going forward, going further and complimenting people, I could actually see how they would revert back. I could actually see the glow and the feel, that yeah, this works. It's it was just that it was my mindset that what would they
Right.
feel.
Right.
Where the third thing is money.
Yeah.
Last year, every year with a group of friends, I do a carnival for underprivileged kids at Ambassador Palwa.
Okay.
So we were really running short of money
Hmm.
for whatever reasons. We
Hmm.
did not have so many donors, and things like that. And I had learned this technique of, money attracting.
Attracting. Hmm.
Trust me, I did it and it worked. And the amount that we had to spend was quite a huge amount. We were actually 2010 rupees plus. So that was
Fantastic.
a very big thing for us. So yeah,
Fantastic.
all these techniques, I would like to tell everybody that yeah, these techniques work. If you have faith and you do it, it really works. And yeah, one more thing about my personal thing is that a lot of people would say, oh, she's so materialistic and
Hmm.
whatnot, whatever. Anyway,
Hmm.
but I feel sometimes being materialistic is not wrong,
Right.
like we don't express ourselves. But I used to always tell my husband, that I want to buy a piece of rock for myself, and he would like, are you crazy? We cannot, buy with the savings. Are you crazy? And
Hmm.
I was like, no, I had made up my mind,
Hmm.
and I had seen this girl, beautiful girl, wearing it on her finger. And coincidentally, I have learned this technique under her. And
Huh.
I said, ये तो मुझे भी पहनना ही है, कुछ भी हो जाए.
Huh.
And
Huh.
I used to actually do the exercise, with a lot of faith and, with reality. And literally, I took out a picture of it. I put it over my vision board. I
Hmm.
started visualizing the size that I need by
Hmm.
when I need it. And I would actually, try to visualize it that it's on my finger.
Hmm.
And trust me, within 6 months,
It
it
was
was there
there.
on my finger. So,
Lovely.
yeah, it's like, honestly, when you really do it, it works.
It works. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Aarti. And Aarti also for the technique of the Ho'oponopono. So we know that you've been doing these things, and it's always enriching to hear you say these things. And yes, my sister writes that all great things come in small packages like you and me. So we shouldn't ever feel like that. And like I was always very proud of being short. I had my best friends who were tall, but I never had any problem. I said, some people need more height to become perfect in life. God
Yeah.
gives them a little height, and they're anyway perfect in life. So I was
Yeah.
always proud of being short. It never made me feel, this thing. But to each their own, and it's important that you came out of it, which is what is
Yeah.
beautiful. Your mirror exercise is going to come as a beautiful exercise as one of the chapters later, and it's fantastic, and it's one of the best
Mm.
things to do first thing in the morning when you get up and you say,
Get up.
you're so bright, you're so pretty, you are so good, you're going to have a beautiful day today. That's the affirmation you have with the mirror, and it's going to
Yeah.
come as an exercise later. And everything you shared about your health and your money and your visualizing and bringing that rock onto your finger, so happy. Thank you.
Yeah. I would
Thank you.
also like to say,
Yeah.
like when I was doing this mirror exercise,
Right.
I did say that that I'm sure there has to be something positive about me being short. What was the first thing? It took me back to my school days.
Right.
Since I was the shortest in class,
Right.
I always had the chance of standing first and looking at the stage or holding a flag or things like that.
Girl,
So,
and yeah.
yeah, it did take me back to my school days. It takes you sometimes to your past also,
Yes.
and then you actually start feeling happy about it.
Happy about it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aarti. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes. Anyone else would like to share? We're on 7:12. We can keep having these chai pe charcha and maybe get in our coffees as well, but or we will call it a day. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. So let's have a fantastic, magical, money checked Monday. And let's do this exercise. And let's start giving more compliments without envy, without worry, without disappointment, without that, but genuinely from our heart. And that really works. Okay. And remember what I told you about the ant. It's an automatic negative thought. Let it just pinch you for a second, and then you can change it around. And you can say, I'm so grateful that my friend got an opportunity for this. Now I can learn from her experience. So how are we going to change it around? It's completely in our hands. So don't worry about the ant that happens. It's okay. It bites you for a second and it goes away, but it's in our control to change it around. All right. Thank you very much and have a great, great day ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Ruchi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruchi.
Thank you